Do you believe that getting older means losing the sparkle of life? This video will change your perspective forever. Discover the 7 simple habits that are revolutionizing longevity after 60, based on real studies, inspiring stories, and practical tips for your physical, emotional, and sexual health. Learn which foods reactivate your desire, which tests reveal what your body is silently asking for, and how to create a morning and nighttime routine that renews your energy every day. Daily routine for living with vitality. Natural aphrodisiac foods for those over 50. Silent signals from the body and how to interpret them. How to rekindle your libido and self-esteem with simple gestures. All based on science and real practices from people like you. This video is an invitation for you to blossom. Now, if you know someone who needs to hear this, share it. If it touched you in any way, like and subscribe to the channel for more content on health, sexuality, and longevity in adulthood. The image of a frail old lady in a rocking chair staring out the window no longer represents the new generation of people over 60. Instead, it has been replaced by something entirely new. Today, older men and women are surfing, dancing the tango in the parks, learning languages, reconnecting with their sexuality, and shattering all the paradigms of what it means to grow old. But what is the secret behind this quiet revolution? Why do so many seniors look younger, more active, and happier than they did just 20 years ago? And what can you do today, even if you're in your 60s, 70s, or 80s, to join this group that is defying statistics? It all starts with a choice, whether to believe that time is an enemy or an opportunity. In Okinawa, Japan, there is a word that sums up this new philosophy of life: ikigai. It means reason for living. The elderly on that island have the longest healthy life expectancy in the world. Many still grow vegetables, cook with living foods, dance, ride bicycles, and maintain an active sex life well into their 80s. But the most curious thing is that they do not have the word retirement in their vocabulary, not because they work non-stop, but because they never stop living. Science has confirmed something surprising in recent years. Aging can be accelerated or slowed down, depending on your daily habits. A study published in the journal Nature Aging has shown that people who adopt 5 simple habits, such as eating more green leafy vegetables, maintaining social connections, and walking every day, can live up to 14 years longer than those who lead a sedentary and solitary life. And it's not just about living longer, but living with energy, pleasure, and independence. Let's imagine together. You wake up feeling refreshed. Your movements are light. Your brain is sharp. Your heart is strong. You have plans for today and for next month. This is quality longevity, and it's available to anyone who wants to break the mental chains that say, aging is declining. No, it's not. Aging is growing. It's blooming late, and new science is proving this every day. Dr. Valeria Rizzo, a Brazilian geriatrician who studied aging at Harvard, says that the biggest mistake of the elderly is to believe that the best is over. Many of my patients at age 65 have begun a new phase. One of them, Mr. Miguel, started practicing yoga at 71 and told me, "I've never felt my body so alive." Another, Donna Irachi, started a vegan cooking class at 68 and lost 9 kilos without dieting. But the most touching was the couple Benedito and Norma. At 73, they decided to restart their sex life with the help of a therapist, and within 6 months, they were back to kissing in the kitchen like teenagers. These stories are not exceptions. They are the new rule for those who decide to take care of themselves. And it all starts with micro decisions. That 20-minute walk instead of another hour on the couch. The choice to drink a green juice instead of a soda. The decision to talk to a friend, even for no reason. Each of these gestures signals to your body that life continues to pulse, and your body responds. Epigenetics, one of the most fascinating areas of science today, shows that we can literally turn on and turn off genes with our behaviors. A study from the University of California showed that elderly people who practiced guided meditation for just 12 minutes a day for 8 weeks reduced their inflammatory markers by more than 30%. Which means a lower risk of chronic diseases like diabetes, Alzheimer's, and even cancer. This is biology responding to consciousness. But perhaps the greatest secret to longevity lies in something that cannot be bought: enthusiasm. The vital force of wanting something, of having projects, of falling in love with a cause, a person, or even a new hobby. The brain responds to enthusiasm by producing dopamine, serotonin, oxytocin, the hormones of vitality, motivation, and joy. An elderly person who is passionate lives longer, not only in years, but in presence, in the sparkle in their eyes, in their connection with life. And when we talk about radiance, we cannot ignore sexual energy. Far from being a taboo subject, it is an essential part of overall health. In a study conducted by the University of Manchester, it was discovered that elderly people who had regular sexual relations had fewer complaints of chronic pain, presented fewer symptoms of depression, and reported greater satisfaction with life. Sexuality in old age is not only possible, it is transformative. The truth is that we are living in a golden age of longevity. The current generation of 60s and 70s will be the longest lived and most active in the history of humanity. And that means that time is on your side, not against you. You just have to decide whether you will use it to slowly fade away or to light a new cycle. In the next section, you'll discover the 7 scientifically proven daily habits that are behind people who live with vitality until they're 100 years old, and how you can start applying them right now, even if you feel like it's too late. But first, take a deep breath, close your eyes, and imagine the best version of yourself. 20 years from now, it exists, and it's waiting for you to get started. When we talk about longevity, many people think of magic formulas or expensive and inaccessible treatments. But the most modern science is telling us something almost disconcerting. The greatest allies of your vitality are in your hands, right now. No dark secrets, no miraculous supplements. They are habits, small but powerful. And what studies are revealing is that, by adopting just 7 consistent attitudes each day, you can not only delay aging, but also reverse some signs already installed in the body. Let's start with the first one. Move every day, even if it's just a little. A study by Harvard Medical School followed more than 100,000 elderly people for 20 years and revealed that walking 30 minutes a day reduces the risk of heart disease by up to 50%. And we're not talking about the gym or a marathon here. We're talking about putting on a pair of comfortable sneakers and going for a walk around your neighborhood, in the park, or even inside your home. Movement sends powerful signals to your brain and circulatory system saying, I'm alive, I'm active, I'm still present. Second habit, eat alive to stay alive. Raw, plant-based, colorful, varied foods. The more alive they are on your plate, the more real energy they deliver to your body. A study from Stanford University showed that diets rich in green, leafy vegetables, such as spinach, arugula, and kale, can improve cognitive function by up to 32% in seniors over 65. These foods contain lutein, folate, and antioxidants that protect neurons and promote brain plasticity, which is precisely what keeps our minds young. What's more, foods like avocado, pomegranate, and extra virgin olive oil are allies of sexual health, improving circulation and hormone production. Third habit, cultivate real connections. According to the World Health Organization, loneliness is more lethal than smoking and a sedentary lifestyle combined. Older adults who maintain deep emotional bonds, whether with friends, grandchildren, social groups, or romantic partners, live longer and better. A striking fact comes from the Harvard study of adult development, the longest-running study of human well-being in history. It showed that the quality of social relationships at age 50 is the best predictor of physical and mental health at age 80. Love is good for the heart, literally. Fourth habit, challenge your mind. Neuroscientists have discovered that the brain is like a muscle. It needs to be challenged in order to grow. Learning a new language, playing an instrument, writing, dancing, or even changing the hand you use to brush your teeth activates areas of the brain that renew connections and prevent degeneration. In an experiment at the University of London, elderly people who learned to play the piano showed greater density of gray matter in regions linked to memory and motor coordination in just 6 months. It's never too late. The brain doesn't know how old you are. It responds to stimulation. Fifth habit, sleep well and with purpose. Sleep is the body's main regenerator. It's at night that your mind organizes memories, your liver detoxifies, and your muscles repair themselves. But more than that, going to sleep with positive thoughts, gratitude, or a defined goal can change the hormones released during sleep. People who practice nighttime visualizations, such as imagining a next day filled with joy, vitality, and gratitude, produce more melatonin and serotonin and reduce cortisol, the stress hormone, according to a study published in Sleep Research Society. Sixth habit: cultivate an active and conscious sexuality. Libido does not die with age. It goes dormant where it is not touched. And it is not just about penetrative sex, but also about intimacy, touching, kissing, affection, and presence. The body responds to touch by releasing oxytocin, which reduces blood pressure, improves mood, and promotes emotional connection. Many couples rediscover pleasure and maturity without rushing, without pressure, with more listening and presence. The University of São Paulo conducted a survey with more than 1,000 people over the age of 60 and concluded that those with an active sex life had higher self-esteem, lower rates of depression, and greater overall vitality. Seventh habit: have a purpose, even if it's small. The reason to get out of bed factor is the most underrated of all. Having a purpose, something that makes your eyes shine, is fuel for the cells in your body. A study of centenarians in Italy revealed that 94% of them took care of something: a vegetable garden, an animal, a granddaughter, a craft. The brain responds to purpose with higher levels of dopamine and a lower risk of dementia. The body also responds. It improves circulation, strengthens the immune system, and reduces inflammatory processes. These 7 habits, applied consistently, can transform not just your next few years, but the quality of them. It's not about being perfect. It's about choosing what fuels your life rather than what consumes it. And each right choice opens doors to more vitality, more joy, and more freedom. But now that you know the pillars, you might be wondering, how can you put this into practice in your real routine, with limitations, fatigue, and everything else? In the next section, you will follow the transformative morning routine of a 74-year-old man who reversed pre-diabetes, regained his energy, and returned to having an active sex life, all in 90 days. A true story that can serve as a mirror and inspiration for you to start your own rebirth. And remember, it's never too late to start living your best life. Never. His name is Paulo, but most people call him Mr. P. At 74, he had already lost hope. Retired from public service, widowed for 8 years, sedentary, overweight, and dealing with a recent diagnosis of pre-diabetes and high blood pressure, he spent his mornings watching TV and his afternoons napping. He slept badly, ate badly, and thought even worse. And it was one Wednesday morning, sitting on a bench in the square near his house, that something changed. A boy ran past, laughing loudly, throwing water from a small bottle over his own head. Paulo smiled, but what came next was a cruel thought. I used to be like that, and today I am almost nothing. At that moment he was afraid, not of death, but of continuing to live like that. That same afternoon he went to his daughter, Ana Paula, and simply said, "Help me." She was shocked. Her father had always been a man of few words, tough and reserved, but there was something different about that request. Ana Paula then called a friend, a physiotherapist. Together they came up with a basic plan, a 90-minute morning routine. Nothing fancy, but it needs to be done every day, no excuses. On the first day, Paulo woke up with difficulty. His body was stiff and his breathing was short. Even so, he followed the instructions written on a sheet of paper. 6:45 a.m., lemon water and conscious breathing. He squeezed half a lemon into a glass of warm water. He sat in the kitchen chair, closed his eyes, and breathed deeply for 5 minutes. In for 4 seconds, out for 4 seconds, and out for 4 seconds. His heart slowed down. He felt a little dizzy, but he kept going. 7 a.m., 15-minute walk around the block. It was slow, very slow. He stopped 3 times, but he finished it. He returned home out of breath, but with a flushed face. "It seems like the soul walked along with the legs," he said out loud without realizing it. 7:20 a.m., colorful breakfast. No white bread or black coffee with sugar. Ana Paula prepared oatmeal with grated apple, flaxseed, cinnamon, and a spoonful of natural peanut butter. On the side, a slice of avocado with olive oil and turmeric, and a kale juice with lemon and ginger. At first, she thought it was strange, but little by little the flavor became familiar. In 15 days, it was already pleasurable. 7:45 a.m., gratitude writing. 3 sentences a day. At first, he thought it was silly. I'm grateful I woke up. I'm grateful I don't have pain right now. I'm grateful I'm trying. Within a week, he was crying during this time. It was like each line unlocked something old. 8 a.m., stretching and taking a shower with presence. With the guidance of the physiotherapist, I did simple exercises for my neck, back, legs, and shoulders. Afterwards, in the shower, the focus was on being present, feeling the water running, massaging my scalp attentively, breathing deeply. That was the basis, repeated every day. And the effects began in subtle waves. In the 3rd week, Paolo began to sleep better. He no longer woke up 3 times a night. He began to feel like walking a little more. The doctor stopped taking one of his blood pressure medications. His daughter reported, "He is talking more. His eyes are more lively." In the 2nd month, Paolo asked to cook. He made brown rice with pumpkin and mint. He had never cooked before in his life. Then he asked if there were still dance classes for seniors at the cultural center. He said, "I missed touching someone." And then, the most unexpected thing came. An old friend, Donna Clarice, who lived in the building across the street, started walking with them. They were the same age, and for years they had been nothing more than waving from afar. One day, after a longer walk, they had tea together. They talked about life. And in the middle of the conversation, Paolo blurted out, "I feel like living again." She held his hand. They didn't say anything else, but that gesture rekindled something forgotten. From the following week onwards, Clarice started to do the same routine with him. They started trying new dishes together, such as quinoa salad with pomegranate and mint, passion fruit juice with turmeric and blackberry leaf tea before bed. Paolo noticed that he felt less pain in his knees. Clarice said that the body seems to be trusting us again. At the end of 3 months, Paolo's doctor ordered new tests. His pre-diabetes had regressed. His waist circumference had dropped to 3 inches. His blood pressure had stabilized. And, most importantly, he was smiling frequently. He told the doctor, "I'm embarrassed to say it, but I feel horny again." And the doctor smiled. He said, "Don't be embarrassed, Paolo. Be proud. Your body is responding to life." This story is true, and Paolo, or rather Mr. P, is now an inspiration for the neighborhood's longevity group. He coordinates the weekly walks. He makes short videos with tips. He teaches seniors how to prepare energizing green coffee, a blend of coconut water, chlorophyll, and mint blended with a pinch of ginger. He says it's fuel for the soul. It all started with a simple request: help me. And with one step. Just one. Because the journey to longevity never begins with a leap, but with a silent decision not to give up on yourself. When we talk about desire, many people immediately think of youth, but the truth is that desire has no age. It just changes form and needs other keys to be awakened. After 50, the body enters a different frequency, more sensitive, slower, but also deeper. And food in this context can be like a match struck in the darkness. It lights up what seemed to be extinguished. Let's get straight to the point. There are natural, affordable, science-backed foods that activate the circulatory system, balance hormones, and revive sexual appetite safely without side effects. And the best part? You can find them at the market, the supermarket, or even in your backyard. 1. Fresh ginger. The first on the list, and perhaps the most powerful. Rich in gingerol, it improves blood circulation and warms the body from the inside out. Studies published in the International Journal of Cardiology Studies have shown that ginger increases peripheral blood flow and improves vasodilation. That is, it helps with erections and natural lubrication. It can be used in juices, teas, or grated on fruit with honey. 2. Peruvian maca, a root native to the Andes, used for centuries by indigenous peoples to increase fertility and vitality. Rich in compounds called macamides, It regulates the hormonal axis, increases energy, and has been associated with increased libido in both men and women. A study by BMC Complementary Medicine showed that, after 6 weeks of use, adults over 60 years of age reported improvements in sexual desire and mood. The recommended dose is around 1 tablespoon per day, which can be mixed into smoothies, porridge, or even breakfast. 3. Pomegranate seeds. Pomegranates are an ancient symbol of fertility and sensuality, and for good reason. Rich in antioxidants, they increase nitric oxide levels, which relax blood vessels and allow for more powerful blood flow to erogenous zones. In a study by Queen Margaret University in Scotland, participants who consumed pomegranate juice for 14 days showed an increase of up to 30% in salivary testosterone, one of the hormones linked to desire and vital energy. 4. Dark chocolate, minimum 70% cocoa. Much more than just a taste pleasure, dark chocolate is a mood modulator. It stimulates the production of serotonin and dopamine, neurotransmitters that activate feelings of pleasure and connection. It also contains phenylethylamine, a compound that simulates the feeling of being in love. A small portion after lunch or early in the evening can be enough to rekindle the sparkle in your eyes. 5. Tribulus terrestris, a herbal medicine that acts to increase libido and improve sexual performance, especially in men. But it also has positive effects on vaginal lubrication in women in menopause. A Brazilian study conducted by UniFesP with women over 60 years of age showed that 67% of them reported an improvement in sexual pleasure after 8 weeks of controlled use. It can be consumed in capsules, under guidance, or as an infusion of dried leaves in hot water. 6. Avocado, a superfood for longevity and sexuality. Rich in good fats, vitamin E and potassium, it improves circulation and natural hormone production. Vitamin E is known as the love vitamin for its antioxidant action on sexual cells. Mix avocado with cocoa and honey for a functional and aphrodisiac dessert, the so-called love mousse. 7. Raw honey and cinnamon, an ancient and effective duo. Honey is rich in boron, which helps regulate sex hormones. Cinnamon, in turn, is a vasodilator, thermogenic, and aromatic. Together, they stimulate the senses. Try a spoonful of honey with a pinch of cinnamon every morning. Or prepare a sensual nighttime tea with cinnamon sticks, ginger, and a few drops of honey. Taken together, it is almost a ceremony of reconnection. Now imagine a breakfast with 3 of these foods combined. A smoothie made with banana, maca, cocoa, and plant-based milk, with a spoonful of honey and a pinch of cinnamon. On the side, a glass of pomegranate juice with mint. This combination, taken every day for just 10 days, can start to make a visible difference in your body, mood, and disposition. But be careful. The power of these foods is not only in their chemistry, but also in the ritual of consumption. Eating consciously, in a calm environment, alone or with others, with intention, transforms a simple food into an elixir. Longevity is not just about what you put on your plate, but how you approach life. And make no mistake, your body always listens when you take good care of it. At 60, 70, 80 or more, there is still fire, desire, and pleasure. You just need to light the fuse with the right choices. The way you end your day says a lot about how your body will start the next one. And for those who are over 60, nighttime doesn't have to be synonymous with silence, solitude, or inertia. It can be an invitation to reconnect with yourself, with pleasure, with the tenderness that may have been forgotten somewhere in life. The nighttime ritual you're about to learn doesn't require luxury, money, or a steady partner. It requires only one thing: intention. Intention to care for your body as if it were still sacred, because it is. Intention to prepare your mind for deep rest. Intention to remind your heart that love begins in the mirror. It all starts at 9 p.m. with a symbolic gesture, turning off the screens, TV, cell phone, news. They drain your energy and focus. The blue light from these screens reduces the production of melatonin, the hormone that induces sleep. And more than that, the anxiety caused by excess visual stimuli affects the heart and desire. By turning off the devices, you are saying, "Now, the time is mine." Next comes the bath. But not just any bath. A sensory bath, with warm water, slow movements, eyes closed. Use a soap with a gentle scent, lavender, chamomile, or vanilla. Massage your scalp as if you were awakening old memories. Touch your arms gently, your legs firmly, your face lightly. This bath is not to clean your body, it is to cleanse the day and make space. After your shower, put on comfortable clothes, wear soft, non-squeezing fabric. Prepare a room with dim lighting, a lamp, a candle, soft music. Then prepare your aphrodisiac night tea. Hot water with apple slices, cinnamon sticks, hibiscus petals, and drops of raw honey. While you wait for it to infuse, sit down, breathe, and write. That's right, write 3 sentences on paper. 1. Something you are grateful for today. 2. Something your body did well today. 3. Something you want to feel tomorrow. This simple writing calms the nervous system, organizes emotions, and prepares the brain to enter deeper states of relaxation. Science calls it nighttime emotional reprogramming. Now comes the most powerful part, therapeutic touch. Even if you're alone, especially if you're alone, take a natural oil, coconut oil, almond oil, or even slightly warmed olive oil, and massage your feet, then your hands, then your chest, using circular motions. Do this for 5 minutes, in silence, or with music that brings back good memories. This gesture activates nerve endings that release oxytocin, serotonin, and endorphins. And it is this cocktail of natural hormones that calms the heart, relaxes the muscles, and awakens internal pleasure. If you have a partner, this moment can be shared. A touch on the cheek, a light kiss on the shoulder, a slow conversation. But even alone, this ritual is deeply nourishing. It is a reminder that sensuality does not come from the other person. It comes from within. Then, lie down, without guilt, without rushing, with your body relaxed and your mind light. If you wish, put a drop of lavender essential oil on your pillow. Close your eyes and repeat mentally, I am worthy of love. I am the source of vitality. I am time in bloom. In just a few days of practice, this routine will begin to transform your relationship with sleep, your body, and the pleasure of living. Many people report more vivid dreams, less anxiety, less muscle pain, and a significant increase in self-esteem. Because taking care of yourself with tenderness is a silent way of falling in love again, with yourself. And remember, mature sexuality is not about performance. It's about presence. It's about feeling. It's about giving your body back the right to be celebrated, not just endured. Sometimes the body whispers before it screams, and those who learn to listen to these whispers avoid storms. At 60, 70, 80 years old, the signs of imbalance are usually subtle. Fatigue that doesn't go away, strange forgetfulness, pain that changes location, a feeling of emptiness when waking up. The problem is that most people ignore them, and they only seek help when the warning has become an emergency. But there is a different path, a path of attentive listening, of intelligent prevention, of small actions that avoid big consequences. And it all starts with knowing the silent signals that your body may be emitting right now. Do you feel like you're getting more sleep but still wake up feeling tired? It might not just be your age. It could be low vitamin D or magnesium, 2 nutrients essential for quality, deep sleep. Do you often forget where you put your keys or have trouble remembering names? It could be a sign of insulin resistance in your brain, a risk factor for silent Alzheimer's. Are you experiencing episodes of unexplained irritability, dry skin, or brittle nails? Your thyroid hormone T3 may be below optimal levels. These are whispers, and they deserve a response. The most important tests for those who want longevity and vitality are not just the traditional cholesterol and glucose tests. Here is the list recommended by experts in integrative medicine and cutting-edge geriatrics. Vitamin D, 25 OH, ideal levels above 40,000 ml for immunity, bones, and well-being. Serum and intracellular magnesium, essential for sleep, mood, and prevention of arrhythmias. Homocysteine, marker of vascular inflammation and risk of dementia. High levels indicate deficiency of B12, B6, and folate. Total and free testosterone, men and women, because desire and energy depend on hormonal balance. TSH, free free T3 and free T4, complete thyroid screening. Fasting insulin, plus glycated hemoglobin, to detect insulin resistance before it becomes diabetes. Ultrasensitive C-reactive protein, for monitoring silent inflammation. These tests reveal more about your future than any prediction. They show you where you can intervene before problems arise. And along with these markers come the most effective routine and dietary adjustments to reverse imbalances. If your tests show high inflammation, foods like turmeric with black pepper, extra virgin olive oil, ginger, green tea, and berries should be on your plate every day. If you have insulin resistance, replace refined carbohydrates with natural fibers, oats, chia, avocado, broccoli. Start the day with protein, eggs, natural yogurt, or a shake with hydrolyzed collagen. To balance hormones naturally, try seeds, flaxseed, pumpkin, sunflower. Rotate them throughout the month. This practice, called seed feeding, is a great way to balance hormones. Cycling is scientifically based and helps regulate the female hormonal cycle and improve male energy. If your vitamin D levels are low, get 20 minutes of sun exposure per day, with your arms and legs exposed, without using sunscreen during this short period. Supplement with foods such as sardines, mushrooms, and egg yolks. If necessary, take supplements under medical supervision. And if you feel disconnected from yourself, dull, lacking in energy, maybe your body is asking for more than nutrients. It may be asking for purpose, activity, movement, emotion. Because longevity is not about controlling your body like a machine, but about treating it like a garden, which needs soil, water, sunlight, and daily care. What do you do when you wake up? How do you eat? How do you talk to yourself when you look in the mirror? All of this goes into your body like food, and it shapes who you will be tomorrow. Growing old is not about disappearing. It is about maturing with courage. It is about blossoming on the inside when many only see the outside. Time is not a thief, it is a sculptor, and with each choice you make, it sculpts more life or more absence. The decision is yours, and it is never, ever too late to start over. Write in the comments, which of these habits will you apply today? Your story may inspire others.